So now the Trump administration is getting rid of black, Hispanic, and women veterans, at least that they were notable. I'm sure they'll be part of the general roster, but let's take a look at some of these headlines here. Arlington Cemetery website scrubs pages about black, Hispanic, and women veterans. Women's history category removed from Arlington Cemetery website. Arlington Cemetery website loses pages on black veterans, women in Civil War. White House pulled women from Arlington graves list. Utah Lieutenant Governor Henderson urges Trump bring back our history. Historian raises concerns over Arlington National Cemetery website DEI removal. Fact check links to pages about black, Hispanic, and female veterans missing from Arlington National Cemetery's website. This is fact check, so is this true or not, right? Arlington National Cemetery stops highlighting some historical figures on its website. World War II veteran Medger Evers erased from Arlington Cemetery website. Navajo code talkers get DEI label as military info. Disappears under Trump order. Arlington Cemetery website drops links for black, Hispanic, and women veterans. Now, Arlington Cemetery, that had to do with the Civil War, right? Wasn't it formed like during the Civil War? Let's see if we can just simple, right? Wikipedia's got a lot of problems, but you can think that you could get at least the general gist of the damn thing. Arlington National Cemetery. It's the largest cemetery in the United States. National Cemetery System, one of two maintained by the U.S. Army. More than 400,000 people are buried on its 639 acres in Arlington County, Virginia. This place is run in accordance to President Trump's DEI rollback, in which information has been dismissed and deleted. That's interesting. That's the next line for Arlington. So it was established in 1864. There we go. Yep. So it was established at the end of the Civil War, or 1 year before the end of the Civil War. May 13th, 1864, during the American Civil War, after the Arlington estate, the land on which the cemetery was built was confiscated by the U.S. federal government from the private ownership of Confederate States Army General Robert E. Lee's family following a tax dispute over the property. So what's it saying there? It was built on Robert E. Lee's land. I don't know. These dogs are barking. It's kind of throwing me off here. The cemetery is managed. It's mystery. Mystery's out there. She's running around. You guys act like you're barking at a damn robber. It's your cousin. It's your sister. It's your comrade. The cemetery is managed by the U.S. Department of the Army. As of 2024, conducts approximately 20 to 30 funerals each weekday and between 6 to 8 services on Saturday. And there you go. So I'll have to read or listen to what I read later on. I got a picture of Medger Evers here. Medger Evers, of course, he was known as the first African American to apply to the University of Mississippi, maybe the first black man to ever apply to the university, any university whatsoever. And he's going to get murdered. He's going to get killed in 1963 at his home in Jackson, Mississippi, which is interesting because it's saying here, June 12th, 1963, June 12th. So he got killed not in wartime. He got killed in the United States of America. But since he was a World War II veteran, then he gets to be buried in the Arlington National Cemetery. So Donald Trump once hailed Medger Evers as a great American hero, but the U.S. Army has erased him from a section on the Arlington National Cemetery website. So Medger Evers, was a World War II veteran, and yet he got murdered. He got murdered here in the United States of America. Let's see. Let's take a quick look at his death. Evers lived with the constant threat of death. Ku Klux Klan, Jackson, let's see. Just hours after President John F. Kennedy's nationally televised civil rights address, Evers pulled into his driveway after returning from the meeting with NAACP lawyers. It was June 12, 1963. Emerging from his car carrying NAACP t-shirts that read, "Jim Crow must go," Evers was struck in the back with a bullet fired from an Eddystone Enfield 1917 rifle. The bullet passed through his heart. Initially thrown on the ground by the impact of the shot, Evers rose and staggered 30 feet before collapsing outside his front door. His wife, Merle, was the first to find him. Did we ever figure it out? Trials. You had this Byron de la Beckworth. He looks like a fucking goddamn Nazi evil fuck. A fertilizer salesman, member of the Citizens Council, later of the Ku Klux Klan. He's going to get arrested, and for his murder, District Attorney, future Governor Bill Waller prosecuted de la Beckwith. All-white juries in February and April 1964 deadlocked on Byron de la Beckwith's guilt and failed to reach a verdict. At the time, most black people were still disenfranchised by Mississippi's Constitution and voter registration practices. They were also excluded from juries. Merle Evers did not give up the fight for the conviction of her husband's killer. She waited until a new judge had been assigned in the county to take her case against de la Beckwith. Back in the courtroom in 1994, de la Beckwith was prosecuted by the state. Based on new evidence, Bobby D. Laughter was the prosecutor. During the trial, the body of Evers was exhumed for an autopsy. His body was embalmed and was in such good condition that his son was allowed to view his father's remains in the first of 30. So de la Beckwith was convicted of murder in 1994, sentenced to life in prison, having lived as a free man for much of the 3 decades following the killing. He was in prison from 77 to 80 for conspiring to murder A.I. Bachnick. In 1997, de la Beckwith appealed his conviction in the Evers case, but the Mississippi Supreme Court upheld it, and the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear it. He died at the age of 80 in prison on January 21st, 2001. So, did he do it? Did he not do it? I mean, was he convicted or not convicted? It's so crazy how the American judicial system is just so fucked. It's like, even if someone gets convicted of it, you're like, well, did they do it? You know, you don't want to fucking just convict a fucking guy just to find somebody. So it's like some kind of justice happened, but did you actually find the fucking guy who did it? And then before he died, how come you didn't get the truth out of him, right? They're not going to release the Menendez brothers unless they get the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Now we have, let's see, fact check. Let's check the fact check. Links to pages about black, Hispanic, and female veterans missing from Arlington National Cemetery. Is this true? The Arlington National Cemetery website removed links to web pages about black, Hispanic, and female veterans buried at the site. Rating is true. In mid-March 2025, a month proclaimed by U.S. Yeah, I saw this. The White House is removing all women from the names of Arlington Cemetery.
Hey, just wanting everyone to know that the White House is removing all women from the list of graves at the Arlington Cemetery.
Just wanted you to know that, and now you do. Here's a painting of Seraph Young cast in the first vote by a woman in the United States on February 14th, 1870 by David Koch. She is now one of the many women who have been deleted with a click of a mouse, Henderson wrote. Mr. President, this is not the way. Mr. President. So, this is Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson of Nevada. Nevada is like, you are deleting history. Give back our history here. And then she's mad about, specifically this Seraph Young. Here's her headstone. It did have her name misspelled. She was the wife of somebody, Seraph Young. And I guess June 22nd, 1938 is when she died. So, yeah, it's not just World War II veterans. It's a lot of people that died, right? So it's a number of people that died. And it began in the Civil War. Something to do with Robert E. Lee. I'm not for sure exactly what. There's Mississippi. Let's see. Medger Evers. Do I want to look at anything else? No, I think that's a good little story. That tells, a good duration. How many other historical people are we going to scratch off the list? Because I like history. History is awesome. And so, You know, it's like that one lady who's getting in trouble for having the sign, everybody is welcome here. Everybody is welcome here. So this is a big ass fucking goddamn motherfucking controversy, right? So here's a sign, everybody is welcome here, and it's got like, you know, black and brown and light brown and peach, and then, whoa, what is this, some sort of albino? I've never seen a hand that, you know, pure snow white right there, and then, you know, dark brown, and then regular brown, light brown, tan, and then super white. That's powder white. I've never seen literally a black person or a white person. I think we should like separate them into at least, you know, humankind into 8 colors. There's peach, you know, skin, peach, pink skin, then there's orange. There's no literal black or white, so everybody needs to go back to goddamn kindergarten and just learn your fucking colors. But what is wrong with this sign? Everybody is welcome here. No matter what color you are, you're welcome in this classroom. As a teacher in public education, you get, you know, people from all walks of life. You kind of have to have sort of a everyone is welcome here kind of mentality. You're public education. So it's kind of crazy that even this sign here, and now Medger Evers, they're being deleted from history, you know?